We are wrapping up the final day of the 2014 NCAC Swimming and Diving Championships from Denison University at the beautiful Trumbull Aquatics Center. Day 4 saw a ton of exciting action, starting with prelims this morning and ending with finals this evening. Both the Denison men and women took home another NCAC Swimming and Diving Championship in 2014. Let's take a look at all of the highlights. Before the events got underway, the NCAC recognized our seniors. This year's senior class is a part of the 2014 NCAC Swimming and Diving Championships that represented 38 states, the D.C. area, and 11 countries across the globe. The first individual event of Saturday night's finals was the men's 1650. Kenyan freshman Alex Seaver took home the NCAC title en route to being named the NCAC Newcomer of the Year. The Eugene, Oregon native touched the wall in 15:36.03, an NCAA B cut, as the Lords placed 1, 2, 3 in the event. After the swim, Alex talked about his impressive NCAA B cut performance.
It went really well. I just got out there, felt really good, smooth and long, and I felt like I was able to bring it home really well.
Alex, you talked in your first win about the pride you have in the distance program at Kenyon. 3 of the top 5 finishers were from the Lords. Just, how much does that speak to that pride that you spoke with about earlier?
I think it says the same thing as, the 1, 2, 3, and the 5. I think we've just been doing great, and we have Arthur Conover, who swam this morning, who also did great, and Dirk Hamelwood's been coming up, and the distance program, I think, is just doing absolutely fantastic.
And finally, Alex, take me through your mental process as you step to the blocks when you know you're about to swim the mile. Obviously, it's a long and grueling race, as we said earlier, but you just got to, I guess, get yourself into a rhythm once you hit the water and just sort of take it out. You said it felt pretty smooth, and you're able to grind your way through it and win a championship.
Yeah, I was a little bit nervous getting up there. Wyke's a great distance swimmer, and I knew I was going to be racing him. And so I just knew I had to get out there and swim my own race.
In the women's race, sophomore Taylor Johns of Denison touched the wall first in a time of 16:46.91, a new NCAC meet record time, as the Big Red went 1-2 in the event. After the record performance, the Chicago, Illinois native had a chance to speak about her NCAA B cut.
I take great pride in having a new meet record, but honestly, it's a whole team effort. I love swimming there and turning my head and breathing and seeing my whole team, so it was pretty great.
Well, you mentioned a whole team effort. Denison goes 1-2 in this event this evening. Freshman Campbell Costley finishes second with you. Just how much does it help to have someone like that to train with throughout the course of the season, and then when you get in a final like this, knowing she's right there and that the work you've put in throughout the season really pays off?
Campbell's a great person to train with. We train with all the time. It's so exciting. She goes so fast during practice, and it's just great racing with her. We just have a great time.
And finally, 1650, obviously a very grueling race. How rewarding is it when you get to that final 50 and you hear that bell lap? After all the laps you've gone through, to hear that, I'm sure it gives you that last boost of energy that you need to finish out the race in a strong fashion.
It really does. All you can think is one more 50 and you're finally finished, and you touch that wall, and it's great.
Event 30, the 200-yard backstroke, saw junior Harrison Curley of the Kenyon College Lords take home his second individual title of the championships, as the Kenyon Lord touched the wall in a new NCAC meet record time of 1:46.38. The Orlando, Florida native, who was named the NCAC Swimmer of the Meet, had a chance to speak about his record performance after the swim.
Well, it's really great to be able to hold the record. I don't really know what else to say about it. It's a lot of fun to be able to have a point that you can cross, something that you can say that I did that. But as far as the race goes, I was really smooth this morning, and I just wanted to see what I could do. So I pushed it, and it was hard, but I finished, and it turned out well.
Always something that swimmers look to do in dropping time from the morning prelims, which you were able to do. You won the 100 backstroke yesterday, and you come into tonight looking obviously to be successful in the 200, which you were. Talk about the differences in the two races. The stroke is the same, but I would imagine the pace, the tempo, sort of the strategy is much different. What's the difference in between those two races?
Well, you got to go a lot faster in the 100. That's really it. You just got to in the 100, you got to push it and see what you can do. In the 200, there's a lot more strategy. You got to keep it smooth on the way out and really try and bring it home. So there's definitely just a completely different rhythm, completely different mindset, but it's different for everyone.
A lot of success in your first NCAC championship this year, named NCAC Swimmer of the Year as a junior. Just talk about what that honor means to you in your first conference championship.
It means a lot. I was kind of shocked because I never won awards like this before, so it was really cool. And it was something exciting and something that I can just put up on a mantle or something and remember all this by.
And finally, a lot of success at the conference championship, but I know for you individually, you have hopes of getting to that national meet, and we don't know yet how those times will play out, but certainly I know you have to feel confident in where that's headed. How do you try and take the momentum that you built here and continue to race and get better and prepare for those NCAA championships?
Well, with this momentum, I haven't shaved yet or anything, not fully tapered, and so I'll be able to do all of that before the NCAA meet. That gives me another little edge, and I got, 2 more weeks of training, try and put everything back together, and then come down, see what I can do. It's just going to be mental, put it all together, see what I can, and I'm excited.
In the women's 200 back, Denison junior Molly Willingham earned the title, touching the wall in a time of 2:02.24. The Simpsonville, South Carolina native spoke about her NCAA B cut after the race.
It was just all about improving from this morning, going out faster, getting the hand to the wall. So it's really exciting. I wasn't expecting it at all, so it was very cool.
Well, you mentioned improving on this morning's time. You swam well in prelims. We were able to drop that time in the finals, which I know is a goal of every swimmer when they come into the finals. And you talk about getting that hand to the wall. The backstroke, obviously you're swimming blind. So talk about those turns, sort of the rhythm, the timing of those, and how important those quick decisions are in a successful race, especially in a championship race where those times are going to be so close at the end.
Yeah, for me, my strength is my underwater, so it was just about getting 1 or 2 more kicks off my walls. Just playing on that strength a little bit and just getting into my walls and getting out as quickly as possible.
An NCAC team championship tonight on top of your individual championship. Talk about what Coach Perini said to you and the rest of your teammates and how proud he was in your performance this week.
Yeah, we've had a lot to overcome in the past week. In just 24 hours, NCAC seemed like miles and miles away. But, we are the luckiest kids in the world. We have the coolest community, coolest parents, staff. We had basically the whole country rooting for us this week. It was very, very cool. Sometimes you kind of think you're in a bubble and it's hard to see outside of the bubble, but the community and the whole country was just there for us, and we really pulled it together tonight and the whole weekend. So it's cool.
Well, finally, Molly, you talk about that support, the community, your teammates, coaches, family, students. You got to swim in front of that home crowd this week, be in your home pool. How much did that comfort really help you guys this week, and how much fun was it to swim in this type of an atmosphere?
It helped immensely. Just seeing students there was really cool because they don't usually get to attend these types of things. So it was really cool. I didn't think that there would be that many people there tonight, so it was it was a little scary. It was awesome though. It was just an amazing experience, and I can't wait to move forward with this group of girls.
The men's 100-yard freestyle saw sophomore Conrad Warren of the Denison University Big Red pick up the win in a time of 44.95, an NCAA B cut. After his swim, the Columbus, Ohio native spoke about his incredible performance.
Yeah, very proud of my team. We really rallied around this past week, which has been really tough, losing a former teammate. But I'm very proud of everyone who stepped up and contributed to just swim to their maximum potential.
Conrad, you had an impressive swim in prelims this morning, but you were to come back in finals and drop your time. I know swimmers, when they come into those finals, they really look to try and drop from their prelim. Talk about the way you were able to drop your performance from the prelims this morning, and how much the atmosphere may have played into it. Obviously, finals is always a lot of fun, not only to swim in front of a packed house, but friends, family, and students that you see around a campus.
Yeah, I really love kind of egging people on and, boasting a little bit. So I love the intensity of the audience. I try to take out my headphones pretty early so I can kind of just feed off the environment. So definitely that helped a lot. It was loud in there and the fans were cheering. There's definitely work to be done, though. Hopefully we can drop the time a little bit more as we move further into the season.
In the women's race, Kenyon College sophomore Haley Townsend picked up a victory, touching the wall in a time of 51:01. Good enough for an NCAA B cut. The Greenwood, Indiana native spoke about her incredible performance after the race.
It was a lot of fun. Honestly, I was pretty shocked at the end. It was a really tight race. I mean, a lot of people were within a tenth, the top couple spots. So I was pretty shocked. I was very pleased. Felt a lot better than the morning. So.
You mentioned that shock factor. When you touch the wall and then you look up and see your name in first place, what are your initial reaction, your emotion at that time? And do you feel the support of all your teammates in the crowd in a finals event like this?
Yeah, actually that's the first way I would find out. That was the first way that I found out, really, was the crowd. Because I can't really see the board very well, so everyone was cheering, and I was like, oh, I think I did well. So,
when it comes to the 100 free in this event, those turns are so important, especially as you mentioned, everyone's within tenths and hundredths of a second. It's right there. Those turns really can make the difference in first or to maybe third or fourth. Mm-hmm. Talk about those turns, how important and critical they were to you this evening.
The turns were very important. Especially in warm-ups, I tried to practice them a lot since I wasn't accustomed to swimming here at Denison. So I think that paid off in the end.
And finally, obviously with an NCAA B cut, their hopes of going to nationals, sort of how do you continue to keep in the mindset of continuing to train, prepare, in hopes that you can go on and have some swims at the national level?
Really, NCAAs this year are actually in my hometown, so I'm really excited for that. You just keep on going, so.
The Kenyon Lords took the top 3 spots in the men's 200 breaststroke, led by senior Alex Beckwith. The senior set a new NCAC meet record time, touching the wall in 2:01:01. After his swim, the Midland, Michigan native talked about his incredible performance.
Honestly, I had no idea what the record was before you just told me. But at least as far as the swim went, I'm really happy with how our group of guys did. We had 4 guys in the finals, and we won 1 through 4 in that. And I mean, I've been training with those guys all year. I'm just really proud of them.
The 200 breaststroke, I think there's a certain rhythm and a pattern when it comes to that event. Just talk about your breathing pattern, your rhythm, how important that is in a 200 breast.
Yeah, I usually, for the first 100 or so, I try to stay long and powerful, and then try to pick it up a little bit, see whatever I have left for the last 75.
Individually, obviously very successful for you tonight, a new NCAC meet record, touching first a conference championship as well. But as you mentioned, those guys that you've been training with throughout the entire year, how much does it mean to you to be able to know that on the podium, it goes 1, 2, 3, and that you guys were to accomplish that all-conference in completely purple with Kenyon colors?
Like I said, I'm really, really proud of them. I mean, we had a lot of great swims this morning, too, they didn't make it into the finals because they weren't scoring, but I'm really pleased with how we did this weekend. In
the women's 200 breaststroke, Denison senior Natalie Lugg picked up her second individual title of the meet. The Woodbury native touched the wall in a time of 2:17:40 and was named NCAC swimmer of the meet. After her swim, she spoke about her NCAA B-cut time.
I mean, I was coming in third, so I wasn't expecting to win it at all. People were saying go 1-2, but I just talked to my coach, and he reminded me that I just can't think during the race, or else that'll get me throughout the whole race, the whole time. So I think just being able to keep my mind closed off on anything that people told me helped a lot. So
200 distance seems to be where you are comfortable. 200 IM champion on day 2, 200-yard breast tonight, a 2 individual event champion. Then because of that, named NCAC swimmer, women's swimmer of the meet. Just talk about what that honor means to you.
The 200 really isn't, I don't know if I'd say comfortable. People always say that I look comfortable, but the 200 definitely freaks me out. But being a swimmer of the year means everything. I was swimming for my team out there every single event, and being able to win that and do it for them was just amazing, an amazing feeling.
Well, you mentioned the team, Natalie, the Denison Big Red, taking home the NCAC Women's Team Championship this evening. Just talk about what that honor means. Obviously, to close out to your senior year, to take home an NCAC championship at home has to be very special.
It is, and this is our 4th year in a row winning, and I wasn't expecting it. Yesterday, we had a few setbacks, but today everyone came in and they killed it, and it was just amazing to watch everyone just be so successful and just have such a great time with it.
And finally, so much success here, not only individually, but from a team perspective as well. Looking forward to how do you try and carry this momentum as the team and yourself look to the NCAAs in Indianapolis in a few weeks?
I think we're just going to hit the ground running on Monday, have a day of rest, and just be able to get up and get going again.
The final individual swims of the 2014 NCAC Swimming and Diving Championships came in the 200 fly. In the men's race, junior Casey Hooker of the DePauw Tigers picked up his second career title, touching the wall in a time of 1:49.85. The Rensselaer, Indiana native spoke about his NCAA B-Cut performance.
I think that we've had a lot of momentum. Our Med kind of got off to a rocky start on the first day, but I think just on the last day, being able to say that we won an event in a conference as good as the NCAC is just huge for our team, so it's really exciting.
Last night you finished second in the 100 fly, and I know you were a little bit disappointed, hoping to get home in first in that race, but to bounce back tonight and kind of get over that mentally and put together a good race and pick up another NCAC championship, your second of your career, what did that mean to you? And just talk about the hard work you've put in throughout the course of the year, not only physically but obviously mentally as well.
I mean, we've been training really hard. I didn't fully taper for this meet. A lot of the guys did, and I don't like to use that as an excuse to go slower than my best time. I was really hoping that I would have gone my best time tonight, but it was still a good time, and I got the job done. I think the team was excited that we were able to come in first.
And Casey, finally, talk a little bit about specifically in the butterfly, the rhythm and how important that is, whether it's your breathing and coming up after every breath or every other breath, and how that differs from maybe the 100 to the 200 event tonight.
I think in the 100 you can kind of get by with holding your breath longer and then just on the turns getting a breath here and there. On the 200 I've really tried to go like a 2 up, 1 down rhythm and hold my underwaters longer just to save my arms for later in the race. And if I can just work on that some more, I think it'll help me in a month. In
the women's race, junior Michelle Howell of the Denison University Big Red picked up her second individual championship of the week. The junior swam it in a time of 2:05.13. The Albuquerque native had a chance to speak about her NCAA B-Cut performance.
I had a goal of going around at a 2:04, 2:03, faster than I went in the morning, so I knew I had to take it out faster. And there are about seven of us girls that are not rested, so I wasn't able to bring it back as well as I thought I was going to be able to. So I took it out faster than I did in the morning, but wasn't able to bring it back like I would if I were rested. But that last 50, it just was a lot of mental toughness, like don't let those girls catch you. And I knew I needed to win the event and brought my teammate along with me to get third, so it was good.
Michelle, you mentioned the tough last stretch in the 2 fly, a pretty grueling event. Talk a little bit about sort of the pattern when it comes to the 2 fly in terms of your breaths, whether it's every breath. What is sort of your strategy when it comes to the 200 fly in terms of that technique?
I do 2 up, 1 down. And I would like to say that that's what I do, although I'm sure towards the end, the last 75, it's more like just breathe whenever. So the goal is 2 up, 1 down, and then as the race continues, the pattern starts to fall apart.
Your individual success continues here in your junior season. You've had a number of successful individual races throughout your career at Denison. But tonight, another team championship for the Big Red on the women's side. Talk about how really proud you are to be a part of this team and how important it was not only to have the individual success, but really the team success this evening.
That is everything to me, and this meet was all about team-oriented for me, and I wanted to score as many points as I could for the team, and we wanted to win, and I am so incredibly proud of this team. I've never been a part of a more satisfying win, and we really rallied tonight and just outswam them tonight, and it was great. We should not have won, says one of our coaches, so we did, so it was really great. And the mile, we led off with a first, second, 1-2 finish in the mile, and that just got us going, and we'd never stopped, so it was great.
Well, Michelle, a ton of positive things to take from this week, not only individually, but as we've talked about, the team success. Looking ahead to Nationals in Indy a few weeks, what does this group need to do, and you individually, to continue to build off of this momentum and get prepared, not only physically but mentally, as you look forward to Indy?
I would say we definitely still have a lot of work to do, and we have a lot of people that'll be right on the cusp of making it or not making it, and I think we need to mentally prepare ourselves just by staying confident and knowing that we can do it and carrying our momentum from this meet into Indianapolis. And I think we'll be good.
After the 200 fly, the Trumbull Aquatics Center turned their attention to the diving well. Kenyan sophomore Malaya Zarka swept the women's boards on the week as she picked up the 1 meter this evening in a score of 450 flat. The Hawaiian native was named the NCAC Women's Diver of the Meet, and after her performance, she spoke about the week that was.
Well, a lot of dives that didn't come through in prelims came through in finals, and a lot of dives that came through in prelims didn't come through in finals, but, you know, this isn't the meet where everything has to come together, so I was happy with it.
Malaya earning the NCAC Women's Diver of the Year, as I mentioned, sweeping both the 3 and 1 meter boards at the 2014 championships. Just talk about what that honor means in your sophomore season.
It's really incredible. Just, I don't know what else to say. It's just fun to see everything, just to see my progress, I guess, from this time last year and also just previously in the season. And it's also nice to see all the other girls growing in their skill levels too.
Well, this is a huge momentum builder for you as we head into championship season. You had success as a freshman at the Nationals a year ago. Obviously, I know you want to get back to the NCAA championships. Talk about where you go from here, springboard from the success you had at the NCAC championship to try and move forward into the NCAAs.
You just got to keep pushing, keep trying your hardest, and hopefully it'll all come together in 2 weeks at the zone meet.
The final event of the 2014 NCAC Swimming and Diving Championship was the 400 free relay. In front of an electric crowd, Kenyon picked up the win in the men's race in a time of 2:49.68. Denison finished second, while the DePaul Tigers earned third. In the women's race, Kenyon set a new NCAC meet record time of 3:23.24, while the Denison Big Red finished second, and once again the DePaul Tigers picked up third. After the final events, the NCAC announced its major awards for the 2014 year. The newcomer of the year on the women's side was DePaul Tiger freshman Angela Newland. The winner on the men's side was freshman Alex Seaver of the Kenyon College Lords, who earned the honor. The diving coach of the year on the men's side was Russ Bertram of Denison, and Big Red Junior Connor Dignan earned Diver of the Year. The women's diving coach of the year went to Allegheny Fred Evanoff, while Kenyon sophomore Malaya Zarka took home the female diver of the year. As for the swimming awards, the women's swimming coach of the year went to Kenyon's Jesson Book, while the women's swimmer of the year was taken home by senior Natalie Lugg of the Denison University Big Red. On the men's side, the men's coach of the year honors went to Denison head coach Greg Perini, while the swimmer of the year on the men's side went to junior Harrison Curley of the Kenyon College Lords. Now let's take a look at the final standings of the 2014 NCAC Swimming and Diving Championships, first starting with the men. On the men's side, it was Denison who picked up another NCAC men's swimming and diving title. The Big Red finished out the week with a score of 1,898.5 points. Kenyon earned second with 1,851 points. DePaul placed third with 1,242.5 points. Wabash's 958 points was good enough for fourth. 683 points saw Oberlin finish fifth. Ohio Wesleyan finished sixth with 625.5. Wittenberg seventh with 596 points. Worcester, 541.5 points, earned eighth. Allegheny finished in ninth with 475 points, while Hiram finished in 10th with 198 points. On the women's side, it was once again the Big Red picking up another NCAC championship with a total score of 1,839 points on the week. The Kenyon College ladies finished second with 1,805 points, while the DePaul Tigers earned third with 1,087 points. Worcester finished fourth with 894 points. Wittenberg took home fifth in 882 points. Allegheny finished sixth with 781 points, while Oberlin picked up seventh in 772 points. Ohio Wesleyan finished eighth with 510 points, and Hiram finished ninth with 296 total points. That wraps up our 2014 coverage of the NCAC Swimming and Diving Championships. Again, I am Russell Kramer of the North Coast Athletic Conference. From all of us at the entire conference office, we certainly hope that you have enjoyed our coverage at the beautiful Trumbull Aquatics Center. From the conference office, we would like to thank everyone at Denison University, their entire staff, for all their help in putting together an incredible event. Again, I am Russell Kramer. Congratulations to both the Big Red on both the men's and women's side of Denison in earning another NCAC Swimming and Diving Championship.